Hey guys, Joe here at the Joe Madden Sports Podcast, joined by handicapper Jake Wilson this afternoon. We're going to hear his story into the industry, as well as talk some NHL. Jake, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here, Jake. Now, I know I've ran across you on the ice, guys, seen some of the stuff that you're doing. I'm excited that you're in this industry, and I'd love to hear how you started.
Well, to be honest with you, I've been involved with sports since a young age. I played just about everything. I wouldn't say I was so good at everything, but at least attempted it. And I was always kind of a weird kid. I was just always followed the analytics, like starting at a young age, and just was so deep into that. Like, unlike most of my friends who were more into playing the sports and whatnot. I mean, I definitely was kind of on both sides, but and then I just kind of got into the sports betting and just kind of taking advantage of what I knew about each sport, and was winning successfully for years upon years. And then over the last 6 months or so, I think I've kind of began the handicapping game and gotten into that world through Twitter and different social media outlets. And I've just kind of flourished. I think the Twitter records has been speaking for itself.
Absolutely. You've been crushing it. You can be being completely crushing it, Jake.
I mean, I try to be modest, but yeah, things have been pretty well. I think since last Friday, I'm on an 11-1 run.
Wow.
On free Twitter plays. So it's been going pretty well.
What was the one that failed? Because we all know the exact one that failed. We can't tell you the winners, but we can tell you every single loser in this industry.
For sure. And you know what? It was one of the ones I thought was the easiest of all, the Blue Jays.
Oh, which game did they kill you on? Was it the ones against Kansas City last week?
It was actually the Tigers on the weekend, the one they dropped.
Oh, man, they should have won that one as well. I was just blown away. I was on the same side as you in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a sure play, but it happens, right? I mean, it's a long game, so you got to take your losses and take your wins. And
absolutely. So did you come from a super competitive family?
Both of my parents pushed me quite a bit to play everything. I think that I was the only one that was really into the sports, so I think I got a lot more pressure that way. But I think it turned me into who I am today. So I'm very appreciative of it, actually. I kind of try to do the same thing with my children, hoping that it opens up a world for them later in life, like it's doing for me now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think pushing your kids into sports is a great parenting tactic. I think it keeps them out of a lot of trouble, teaches them so many things to be within sports. And yeah, you never know where it can lead, and can lead to some great passions. And look at us now with what we're doing. So it's awesome that you're doing that. Can you remember the first bet you ever made, Jake?
I think I began with betting on football.
Okay.
And I think it all began with Pro Line, and it took a long time to learn that the odds weren't always the greatest with that. We're talking, 10, 15 years ago, before anything else was legal here in Ontario. And it took a lot of losses, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it opened up this whole world. So I'm definitely grateful for it.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen lots of changes coming within all of North America and Canada as well. So happy to hear you're out in Ontario. That did slip my mind. So many new sports books coming onto the market there. It's a great opportunity for Canadians to start betting. Now, Jake, let's talk some NHL. I know you are fantastic at betting hockey. We are having the Stanley Cup Finals starting tomorrow night. What are your thoughts so far in the playoffs? Did you expect Tampa and Colorado to be here?
Well, after the first round, at the beginning of the first round, rather, I did say that I thought the winner of the Leafs and Tampa series would go in the East. The West, I think we were all on Colorado, majority of us.
Except for me, I was on Calgary, but that's okay.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm super excited just because this is it's not every year that the two top teams, that I think the two top favorites in each conference, end up meeting in the championship, and I think it'll be great TV.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I really hope this one goes at least 6. Looking for a really competitive series here. What are you thinking for how deep this series goes?
I think it's going to go 7. I really do. I think these two teams match up very close. There's a few advantages that I will probably point out when I give you my series prediction, but I do see this series going 7 games.
Okay, 7 it is from you, Jake. Now, what are you looking at series-wise? We know both of these teams are fantastic to get here. Who do you think has the edge?
Well, last week when we chatted on the Betcast, we spoke about this, and at first I did lean towards the Avalanche. It was actually one of your comments about the goaltending matchup that had me second guessing things, and now that this series has had a few days here to marinate and some time to think about all angles of it, I am leaning with the Tampa Bay Lightning for their
Okay.
third in 3 years.
Man, it's going to be absolutely incredible for Tampa and Tampa fans if they're able to pull off this third win in a row. Definitely, these players will be so eager to get it. It's going to be a battle. And I can see if Tampa gets it, it does go to game 7.
For sure.
So we've got Darcy Kemper looking to start. Have you heard anything else on if the Avs will start him? I see it's still a question mark.
That's what I'm seeing too, Joel. I don't think we will be seeing him for game 1. I think he'll come back later in the series. And to be honest with you, when he does come back, I don't think it's going to make a tremendous difference. He hasn't played since, is it game 2 of the last series?
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be rusty. I think the Avalanche altogether are going to be rusty. I think coming out game 1, I think Tampa's going to lock it down on them and shock them a little bit. So I don't think Kemper's going to be a major factor in this series when he does return. But to answer your question, no, I don't think we see him game 1.
Now, what are your thoughts on Braden Point? We have seen him out. He was probable for that last game against the Rangers. I did think that we would see him. Of course, we didn't see him. Do you think we're going to see him in game 1 or in this series at all?
Yeah, I think he suits up. This guy is a warrior. I don't know if you saw the injury in the series against the Maple Leafs, but when I saw it, I thought he was done for the playoffs. And he returned the next game and played on one leg, and
still made a phenomenal impact. So
exactly. And so being the Cup Finals, I don't think this guy's going to be out of the lineup.
Absolutely. So game 1, we have the Avs coming in here off so much rest. We have Tampa fresh and ready, in my opinion. Are you going to take Tampa? Are you going to, and if you're taking Tampa, are you going to take them straight up on the money line? Or are you going to even do like a reverse puck line on this for Tampa?
So I haven't placed a bet just yet. I definitely want to involve the Lightning on the money line. I'm kind of leaning towards a game 2-leg parlay with the game 1 victory for the Lightning and the series victory for the Lightning.
Nice.
Offhand, I'm not sure exactly what the odds are on that, but I imagine it's north of plus 400, 500 in the
Yeah, it's got to be up above that because I know one of my other guests was looking Avs and the series win, and that was plus 400. So Tampa must be plus, I'd guess 500-600 in there.
Yeah, so I don't typically like to throw bets down that are that big of an underdog, but that seems like a fun play to me.
You know, you say that big of an underdog, but look what happened the last 2 years. Tampa was the winner. Hard to think here with Vasilevsky that it's not worth even a sprinkle.
Right? I think that could be a lot of fun.
Absolutely could be. I'm so excited for this series. Can't wait for it to kick off. In my heart, I got to tell you, I want the Colorado Avalanche to take it. But I look at Tampa, I look at that goaltending, and that is my biggest concern for Colorado is Tampa has a world-class goaltender. Not anything against Kemper or Francouz, but they're not at the same level.
No, it's not even close. Vasilevsky, in my opinion, is the best goalie in the world right now. He's been here before. He knows how to shut the door, and it's not just the skill. He's extremely smart. He's almost got the Patrick Waugh vibes, where Patrick Waugh and his defensemen. Patrick Waugh would train his defenseman where to stand so that he could cut the angle down on certain points on the ice. And Vasilevsky, from what I've heard, does the same thing with his defenseman, which not a lot of goalies do that. That's a very intelligent goaltender. So there's a reason why he's won 2 Stanley Cups. There's a reason why he has the numbers that we all know in elimination games. And I think he's going to ultimately be the difference.
It's going to be an incredible series. Like I said, I hope it goes deep. Jake, I wish you all the best in your bets. Now, if people are looking to find you, what do you have going on and where can people get your picks?
So right now you can follow me on Twitter at Jake Wilson 007. I try to give out winning picks every single night. I mentioned the 11-1 run I'm on right now. I did bring a pick to the show. I'm not sure if you would want.
I would love it. What do you got for us?
All right. Well, I think the game might have already tipped off, but I want to go with the Phillies on the first 5 money line tonight.
Okay.
Against the Marlins. They're 9-1 in their last 10. The Marlins, they've dropped 2, one of them being last night to this Phillies team. I'm really honing in on the pitching matchup in this one. Zach Eflin's 2-4, which doesn't really jump off the screen, but when you dive into his home numbers, he's 2-1 in 5 starts at home with a 1.16 ERA. And Trevor Rogers, who he's going up against, has not been good this year. He's got a 5.58 ERA. And I think the Phillies are just mashing the ball right now. So I am got a nice big bet going on the Phillies tonight in the first 5. Which
if you guys can live bet this right now, it is at the top of the first. Miami has been able to get a couple runs on the board. You're going to get so much value with the Phillies right now. We know as soon as they get their turn, they're answering back in this one. Jake, I'm with you.
Let it ride.
Let it go. You guys, this is going to be a great game. We got a couple other games that have started on the diamonds. We have the Atlanta Braves up 1-0 over Washington. We have Tampa and the New York Yankees just starting the top of the first. Same with the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Those 0-0 top of the first. So lots of games in progress right now. The only one with a score is that Braves Washington games and Miami and the Philadelphia Phillies. So you guys get those live bets in. Okay, Jake, thank you so much for joining me here on the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. Can't wait to have you on again. I love talking hockey with you. Another Canadian on the show. What could be better? So thank you so much for joining me here.
Thanks for having me, Joe. This was fun.
Absolutely. It was a blast. You guys make sure you head on over to Twitter. Give Jake Wilson a follow. His handle is right there scrolling along the bottom. Jake Wilson 007. Love the James Bond reference. Have a good one, Jake. Thank you.
You too, Joe.